What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is the Reen Bean, and I kind of wanted to give y'all a taste of my original Xbox collection. This isn't my entire collection. This is about 300 games or so. I got some more put up elsewhere, but this is kind of one I wanted to showcase. Very few sports in this one, maybe the ones that I enjoyed. But I kind of wanted to go over this video with you to kind of show you the more collectible, harder to find, or just extremely awesome games for the original Xbox. Now, my main argument for people who, when it comes to third-party games with the PS2, GameCube, or Xbox, which one to collect for me, it's the Xbox simply because the system plays a lot better, usually a lot better frame rates, and the graphics are superior. And not just to choose, not to be a fanboy or anything, but if I'm going to, play Destroy All Humans, for example, this was on the PS2 as well. It looks better on the original Xbox, so I'm going to collect it for the original Xbox. When it comes to my PS2 titles, I only really collect exclusives for the system. That way, I'm not my whole game room's taken up with just third-party games. But anyways, let's get into this. We're going to go left to right. It's all alphabetized. When you have this many games, alphabetize it and take a picture of it. So when you're out in the wild and you're looking for games, it's real easy just to kind of zoom in on your phone and say, oh, I don't have that one. Rather than going through a spreadsheet list. For me, it's easier. But we'll start left to right. And like I said, I'm going to go over some of the games that I think are awesome or just hard to find. Probably going to be real pricey one day, 1,000 years from now. So here we go. Let's see. Area 51, we'll start with that one. This is a very cool little game to get into. Not pricey. You can get this one, I'd say, around $5 or $10. If you had to order it now, but it's one of those ones that I do see in the wild quite often. Let's see. We're moving. Now... I got Cabela games everywhere, man. I got on the Wii. Now there are some on the Wii that are exclusive that I do not have for the original Xbox, but I got Cabela. They're not the greatest. Call of Cthulhu. This is a pricey game. A good copy will cost you about $50. Now I've seen this in the wild one time, but it was terrible and it was a little overpriced. This one's complete. Very fun survival horror game. Good for the time. A little bit dated, but it's not too bad. If you're a Castlevania fan, the original Xbox does have one. This one is Curse of the Darkness, or Curse of Darkness. It's not bad. It's not that great, and it's not that expensive, so I'd get it before, if the original Xbox ever does take off, it probably would be pricey. Cold Fear is another survival horror game. I'm a big fan of survival horror, and this is a very cool Resident Evil-like clone, and I remember playing this the first time, loved it, got 3/4 of the way, and a buddy of mine deleted the file like a dick, so I had to replay that and get back into it. Here's a semi-pricey game, and it's only pricey because of its original Conquer Alive and Reloaded. This was remade. This is obviously made by Rare, who did the original Conquers, and they redid it for the original Xbox, and they reskinned it. They took out some of the cuss words, kind of things like that, but it's about a $30 game. It's not bad. Well, let's move down here. The Crash games are fun. God, Dance Dance, I forgot, that's terrible. I got the pads that use the dance. I'll never use that. The Dead or Alive series, I wish I had a better box for the collector's edition that had both of them. That's 1 and 2 in there. Then you got the third, and you got the volleyball. Let's see. Destroy All Humans, like I said, are very fun games, comical. Doom is a must-have. If you are collecting for the original Xbox, this is a very, very cool game. This is the limited edition, or the collector's edition. Very cool. It's got the cool sleeve. I don't believe it's much different. It may have a few maps whenever you're doing multiplayer. I can't get that bastard back in. Let's see. Some of the other ones, Dungeons and Dragons Heroes. It's not expensive, but it could be in the future. Now, some games that I think are really going to start going up in price: the Evil Dead series. Now, if you are a fan of the movies, which I am, they're amazing movies. I had to have these games when they first came out. This one's a fistful of boomstick, and they're a third-person game. And the controls, man, I tried to play this again here recently, and the controls are just so dated and bad, but it's so awesome at the same time. It's one of those games where it's so bad it's got to be good, but a very cool game if you love the series. Same for Evil Dead Regeneration, where you get the little midget dude. You can actually kick him into things, and very fun, comical game. Another must-have for the original Xbox is the Fable game. Now, Fable 2 and 3 came out for the 360, but the original, gotta have it. Let's see. Now, I do not have, and I wish I never sold it. I had Futurama. It's a collectible game. It's about a $30 to I'd say $30 to $50 game. Don't let eBay fool you. You can see it listed for like $100. It is not going to sell for $100. Here is another rare title. I'm a big Fallout fan. This is Brotherhood of Steel. Not the greatest game, but it is fun if you like the Fallout lore. Two very collectible games here. Fatal Frame 1A and 2. These are going to cost you a little bit. It's about $30 to $40 for this one, and I'd say Fatal Frame 2 is a little bit more, maybe $35 to $45. But if you can find it out in the wild, grab it. If you can find any damn game in the wild, grab it. I forgot to mention the Far Cry series. Awesome, looks great on the original Xbox. Let's move down here. Gonna hurt my old ass knees. Let's see here. Godzilla, another slightly collectible, not expensive, but this is Godzilla Save the Earth. It is actually a cool game if you're into the Godzilla, you get to play and fight the other monsters. Not too bad. Here's another rare game, which is Grabbed by the Ghoulies. It's actually pretty fun. It's not bad. This was the it's like one of the last games Rare did, if I'm not mistaken, or something with the original Xbox. The GTA series, and they actually made a collector's edition sleeve that was kind of like the Dead or Alive, and I wish I had it, but of course you got GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, which are amazing games, all of them. I actually replayed through 3, and then I went 3/4 of the way through San Andreas and got tied up in other games. Believe it or not, Greg Hastings Tournament Paintball is actually a really fun game to get into. I got a bunch of dumb shit up here. Like I said, when you're a collector, you have no room for nothing. Now it could be sacrilege. I'm gonna sit down here. But I've never been the biggest fan of Halo, even though I'm a fan of the original Xbox. I appreciate what it did for, first-person shooters, and I can understand how significant it is, but to me, it's just not the greatest game. I was more of a fan of this game, Half-Life. Now, like when it comes to, like I said, PS2 exclusives, I'm not a PC gamer, so in order to play the first Half-Life, you need to have Half-Life 1 on the PS2. And that game's kind of pricey. Now, that's about a $10 to $20 game, so I'm a big Half-Life Go Gordon Freeman fan, and that's definitely a game you need to have in your collection. If you have a PS2, get the original Half-Life, because you're going to love it. Jade Empire, very awesome game. Not extremely expensive. You can find that one fairly easy. Here is let's see if I can move this. Shit. Well, I can't, so you're just going to take my word. Land of the Dead, Road to Fiddler's Green. Whenever the movie Land of the Dead came out, this was more of a promotion. It only came out on original Xbox. Kind of expensive now. It's about a $20 game, I'd say. It's not good at all. It's terrible. I played through it. It was fucking awful. But that game is going to become quite collectible in the series. Let's move down. Now, I'm missing the second one of these. Like I said, I'm not near at all a complete collection. And these are not all the greatest games, and like I said, I got other games put away, but I'm missing some, and I'm still looking. This is a fun system to collect for because it's real cheap to get into for the most part, but I'm missing the second one of these. This was on PS2 as well. The Midway Treasures gives you a bunch of Midway games. I'm missing Shalon Monks. Well, I have it. I think I have it. Yeah, you can see it right there on the wall. I just don't have it in a case, which sucks, so I'm not going to, put it in a little fake case and put it over here, not until I find it originally. And that game's the pricier one out of all the Mortal Kombats, which were fun. Shallow Monks had kind of like an action-adventure kind of side part to it. Terrible, I thought, but pretty cool. The Myst game, which Myst is on every system imaginable. It's one of those staple games, and if you've never played Myst, find it on some sort of system and play it. It's not great, and you'll probably have to use a guide to get through it. But it's one of those games, like I'd say, like Halo. It had an impact on the gaming world. Now, Blockbuster did a series of outlaw games, the golf, the volleyballs, for the, well, actually, I think it was for the PS2 and it's not exclusive. But you'll find these commonly. I think there may be like 7 or 8 of them. I could be wrong. I'm missing a few, but the collection of them is starting to grow. Here is another collectible game that is starting to get pricey, which is Phantom Dust. This is a pretty cool game. I didn't play it much, but it's not that I didn't like it. I just didn't, you know, I had other things going at the time. When you are a collector, you have a backlog the size of like Godzilla's dick. But it's not bad. It is getting collectible. Actually, that's a really mint copy of that game. Outrun, super fun. The Prince of Persia series games, I'm in love with. The Prince of Persia games are awesome. The 360 remake was cool to me. Let's see, Wolfenstein, awesome game, obviously. Let's move down. Like I said, if I'm missing games and you're like, oh, that game's amazing, well, that's fine. It's not like I'm, you know, I could just, you know, overlook it. I'm trying to do this quick so this video ain't 1,000 minutes long here. Let's see. Serious Sam, which is amazing. That's a cool game. It's real fun. Upbeat kind of game, and it's real quick. I got both 1 and 2. This is another collectible game. The original on the Dreamcast, and then the only way to get Shenmue 2 was on the original Xbox. Not extremely pricey. I'd say about 20 to 30 bucks. But it'd be one of those games that'll probably go up in price. Now, here is a couple more collectible that I am a big fan of the series is Silent Hill games. And especially since Konami decided to pull the plug on Silent Hill, these games I feel are going to be a lot more pricey in the future. And Silent Hill 2 was on the PlayStation 2, but The Room was only on original Xbox. And this is a very cool game. I'm pretty sure that was only on original Xbox. A very cool Silent Hill game where you basically are trapped in your room, and the only way to escape is go through whole other dimensions. Crazy. It's Silent Hill-ish. It's definitely one to get, but a little bit pricey. But that's probably going to get higher, so get it while you can. The SNK games, I've never been a big fan. Fighting games. Let's see. Star Wars games. Now, I am missing some of the staples. The Knights of the Old Republic. I don't believe I have any of them, which is a shame. I don't want to pay a high price for them. I want to find those in the wild for $1 or $2. So they're not as important to me. Now I do got let's see, Jedi Knight, which is about a $35 game. And I do have Battlefront 2. I don't have the first one, but I do have the second one. So it's not as important to me. Let's see. Still, this is a very cool game. This will be collectible, I think, in the future. So if you can get this cheap for a couple bucks, do it, because this game is going to be quite pricey, I feel, in the future. It's just not as common for the original Xbox. Now, one of my all-time favorite, this is like my #1 game for the original Xbox. And I wish I had a better copy as far as stickers goes. Stubbs the Zombie. Now, this is complete, but damn GameStop and their bullshit putting those stickers all in. And see, they don't put it on the outside of the plastic where I can just change the case. Oh, no. They put it on the paper itself because they're dicks. But this game, Xbox exclusive, made with the Halo engine, which doesn't say much now. Like I said, all this stuff's kind of dated. But this is a very funny, awesome game, and I played that probably 4 or 5 times. It was very cool. Get that game. It's going to cost you about 40 bucks, unless you find it in the wild. Get it. You will not regret it. That is one of the best games for original Xbox. The TAC series, which is cool. Let's see. Obviously, I'll pull this out. If you are an RPG fan like me, the Elder Scrolls Morrowind game. This is before Oblivion. Before that came out on 360, this was what people were playing. Very slow. If you try to play it now, you don't move that quick. You're just like, game's moving slow as fuck. But it's still a good game. Definitely many hours you can get sucked into. Chronicles of Riddick, believe it or not, is a very good game. It's a very good shooter, which it's based off the movie. You'd think it'd be terrible, but actually it's not bad at all. Here is a very collectible game that is going to get pricier and pricier. The Guy game, and this game was pulled off the shelves because apparently there is a 17-year-old girl in there showing her boobies, and people just didn't like it. Now, if you're older like me, you will remember this guy. Late night TV, especially MTV. He's a fucking douche. This game's terrible though. It's just a trivia game, and the better you do, the more naked they get. God damn it, the Guy game, get all up in there. Another collectible game here is the House of the Dead 3, which is very cool. There is a light gun for the 360, not 360, but the original Xbox, which I do not have. I just want to find one. It was made by Mad Cats. You can still play without it, but very cool game. Probably going to get up in price, I'd say, in the future. You know, the second one, which was on Dreamcast, very cool game. Let's move down here into this last row, which is going to be kind of hard to see. The Thing, which is very cool, survival horror. You get to control a team in that game. Not the greatest, but it is cool. It's good to have in the collection if you're a survival horror fan. Don't mind these. If you have a 64 collection, go to eBay, spend 20 bucks, and get end labels. You will not fucking regret it. It is amazing. So when you have all your N64 games and you put those on there, it makes them look beautiful. And I paid 20 bucks. I got the whole, it's like 200 and I don't know how many games are on that system, 250 or 70, something like that. Maybe less. The Warriors, this is going to be a game that gets up in price, I'd say. Very cool game. Awesome to the movie. Toe Jam and Earl, gotta have, which is, I think it's going to be pricey too. All Toe Jam and Earl games, except for, I think, the second one, Funktown for Sega Genesis, is not that expensive. And Tom Clancy completely raped the original Xbox when it came to his games. You will find, let's see, all these. Tom Clancy, Splinter Cell, all that. Now, Splinter Cell was pretty cool. I never got into the other ones. They all felt about the same to me. But it's collecting. Like I said, I collected all for the original Xbox. The True Crime games, I think I do not have the New York, Lost in New York or Streets in New York, some shit like that. I can't remember. I haven't even played that one. I played this one. Sort of GTA-ish. Turok Evolution, which is absolutely awesome. I am a big fan of Turok. Turok is amazing. Very good game. Let's see here. 13. 13 is very cool. This game was on GameCube, PS2, I think. Looks great on original Xbox. Like I said, collect for that system. And then the last game that I want to show you, let me get up here, is the best one in my collection. And I don't keep it here because I think it would be kind of a shame to just leave it, you know, on the shelf with just its spine sticking out. Is, let's see here. This game right here, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Now I got this one complete. It's in mint condition. This, to me, currently is about the most expensive original Xbox game you're going to get. Let's open this up. Let me set this down. This game is actually very fun. It's a simulator game where you are building the park of Jurassic Park. You kind of control it like The Sims. You know, you build your enclosures, you run. It's just like the Sims theme park, except it's Jurassic Park theme. Very expensive on the original Xbox. If you end up going the eBay route on this, you're going to pay anywhere between 80 to 100, 130 bucks for a good quality one with a manual. Now there are more collectible games for the original Xbox. There is still Battalion, but it is only expensive if you have the full controller, you know, the where the whole tank controls. That's what makes it expensive. Makes it, you know, around $200, $300, but the game itself is very inexpensive. This game right here is going to set you back. If you collect for the original Xbox and you're missing this game, I hate to hear it. But hope now, it's very rare you'll find this in the wild. But if that is one you're out yard selling or going to flea markets and you find, pick that up. And I mean, don't overlook it. It's a Jurassic Park game. We all know there's terrible ones out there, but this is one that even if you don't find it awesome, it's going to be the little Samson of original Xbox, I feel. Now, this game was on PS2, I think, but it's not nearly fetching as much as it is for the Xbox. So, get it, pick it up. So, I hope y'all like this video. I am wanting to go over some more systems, you know, like my NES collection and all that, but it's been a while since I got to make a video. God damn it, I just threw that game too. But hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like. And thanks for watching. God damn, that's creepy. Now look at this doll. I bet you it still works. See, watch this. Found this at a yard sale. I had to have it. God, that's creepy as fuck. Watch him say not to mama. Oh my God. See that in your dreams tonight. But dinosaurs, who didn't love that show? But anyways, take care. Thanks for watching. Woo-wee-woo.